That's what I wanted. Trials and tribulations. Let's see what we got. Mia's back? Oh wait, is this when they go... They get like the backstory? Yeah, memories. Sure. Let's begin an adventure. I can't believe that was the name of the last follower. I feel bad. Huff and a puff. How did I get into this mess? Murder already happened. Great. Why did I do that? Dude, did Phoenix's hair just always go back in a spike? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you, for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. That's a song, isn't it? Hold it! Don't talk about it like that. Oh, dude, did Phoenix kill somebody? Dude, Phoenix killed somebody. How did he get away with it? I didn't do it! No, yeah, you did. Most definitely. You can see a little bit of reflection on my glasses if I turn right. 5 years earlier, Mia faced second trial. Dude, did Mia defend us? That's kind of cool. Whew. Oh gosh, we are Mia. It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Ghostberg, good morning.
Mia, please, calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know.
What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Ghostberg. Look at me. Relax.
Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't gotten the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm sorry. It's that I'm so nervous today.
That's right. That's your first time in the big leagues, isn't it?
I could do that, or I could do like,
It's your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I am Marvin Grossberg, and at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, he suddenly said. And quite forcibly, too.
I just found out yesterday about this case, I mean.
Hmm? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? Is this us telling us to look at the court record? Date and time of death.
3. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Well, about that, you see... I mean, of course I have, I think.
Oh, dear. In any case, don't let your client see you're nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater? That's our client.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it my all. I'll give it all I've got. Yep, I'll be fine. No prob. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers? People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. The doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Oh, right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you're truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then. Well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself. Good pep talk, Mia. Good pep talk. Oh gosh, this is a younger Mr. Payne.
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense today is, Miss... Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense.
Funny, everybody looks younger except for the judge. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency.
Emergency? But isn't that him standing right next to you?
Yes, well...
You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can handle this?
Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. I see where Phoenix got a lot of his, like, idioms from.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well, well, well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon.
What was that about? Is he trying to trash talk me?
Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. Murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
It's not pharmaceuticals?
Sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, then they called the police.
Suddenly makes the defendant look very suspicious. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. By the way, can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that the victim died a rather unusual death.
Unusual?
What do you mean?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a genteel man, if you will.
Oh, what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show me what you're made of.
A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much.
I'm so sorry, I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file.
My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court or record. But you knew that already, didn't you?
Oh, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing the button.
All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there. And think carefully before you answer.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that. Stay calm. Can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. Court record. Okay. Let's take a look. I just press this button, and again, it's cause of death was fatal electric shock.
Now then, would the court attorney for defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death?
According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? How could such a thing happen?
Actually, this is just now popping up. How come the judge doesn't get these files beforehand? Shouldn't he also be like, I'm gonna be presiding over this trial. This is what we have so far. Okay, go on. Or is that like against maybe giving him a preconceived notion of something?
Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as the trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there's one more vital issue.
What's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's Winston Payne for you.
He's a one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know.
Now then, let's hear the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence.
Oh gosh, this is just so much. Oh, new stuff. All right. I'm warming up to voices again. Pretty sure we're gonna show whoever this girl is, right? We have a girl. Yeah, you. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. So 8 months. Over half a year. Third-year art student. Dude, if you look at him head on, his hair looks like that. It's intimidating. Evidence, we got it, yep. Is that what she sounds like? The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Taylor Hawthorne?
Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's got the judge thinking like he wants.
Very well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
The defendant? Well, Miss Faye?
It's fine, after all, Phoenix is innocent, right? The defense has no objections.
Very well.
Get him up here.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is... Well, right now, I guess I'm a suspect.
No. He means what you did before you were arrested.
Oh! I was a university student.
Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student.
But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. Achoo. I'm telling you I was...
Will the defendant please refrain from passing on his code to the rest of us?
It seems the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Right away, Your Honor. Dude, him doing this with his eyes closed like that reminds me of Larry. Larry Butts. I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Wow, even Phoenix is really dumb about not lying. So we didn't know the victim, he says he's not a killer. Looks like the judge understands.
You're being...
You're being naive. Too naive.
Seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
And that would be...
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Yeah, we know. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Yeah, he would. Everybody does that. It's a Phoenix Wright game. Actually, wait. I think we had 1 or 2 total where there was nothing, there was no contradictions. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place was place where something happened anyway.
Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence.
Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident.
Coincidence, huh?
You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh?
Unfortunately, it was some other student that notified the police.
Students.
That's correct, they were witnesses.
Okay, this picture is so different from this one. Ridiculously different. And this one doesn't have any hanging, like, wires.
Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body, but I... So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right! Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not?
Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day.
He called him out on it. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me. Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Dolly or Dolly? What's her name? I thought his name was Hot Dahlia. What an interestingly cool name. Okay. Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia. So Dolly.
Who's Dolly?
Yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Now, I don't know if you should be calling her lover. Girlfriend. Right? Or those are, maybe that's two different, that's the same thing. I'm never able to tell the difference between some of these things. I just could be completely wrong.
Young love.
Yeah, super young love. But that's all I knew about him. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? One sneeze, acceptable. Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not the killer, I swear.
Mr. Wright, please give an opportunity to revise your testimony. I will give you that opportunity. How is it that you knew the victim? As you put it, a British wannabe.
Yeah, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. That's a term for a picture, and I don't remember what the picture is.
Well, my dear, do you think you can manage from your own from this point?
I can handle it. 1 year ago, I was in the courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
Mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. If you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof.
One more time from the very beginning of his testimony. I don't see a Union Jack on there. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back.
Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take a look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me.
You've made our client cry.
Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. Can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong.
Yeah. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime.
Did I go too far?
By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but...
Was the medicine that you took over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X?
Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a sec. How'd you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X?
Yeah. Wow, Luigi. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. Of course, he lost it when the dude died. Probably.
Mr. Wright, should I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like to take a look at this crime scene photo thing.
What's this? It's the victim's hand.
Now, watches don't stop when they do it, right? Because I'm looking every time I see a watch or a time, I'm looking at it, and so that says like 3:05, right? Yeah. Okay, that's about right. Never mind. Maybe it did stop, which is weird.
Oh my gosh, it's Cold Killer X. I can't believe it.
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument doesn't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it.
Bum bum bum. What?
Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine.
Sorry, that statement makes no sense.
Dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright.
Pretty sure when you get fatally shocked, you don't move afterwards. Just saying. That's a theory. I don't want to test it myself. Another photo. Cool. I'm getting a pain in my chest. I don't know why.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Oh, it was broke. That's what I was asking, literally, about.
It ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity...
Okay, that's why. I was like, did it break because of the impact? No.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this?
Oh, go. This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks! My poor hemorrhoids!
Wait, he still has hemorrhoids? Aren't those curable? Also, he's not sitting. So his hemorrhoids hurt when he's not sitting. Truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmaceutical department, so I agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, it's completely different from the testimony you gave previously.
Fantasia, that's interesting. Guys, I think I might have to stop doing voices. When I try and do something that's not my normal voice, it gets really tense right here, and I don't know why. It's kind of hurting a little bit. I can talk, and it seems fine. I put strain on it when I try and do a voice, so I'm gonna stop doing voices for a little bit. Sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. Forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Okay, cross-examine. Don't tell any more lies. That's really weird. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is... it's kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart. Oh, what? What was that for, Mia? Oh, sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. I wanted a Mia profile. How much older is Mia than Phoenix? So Phoenix is in 3rd year, 4th year is 22. Lawyers, I think, need 8 years, so she would be 26? 27? Somewhere around there. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim. 8 months ago? Before she met Mr. Phoenix, right? Yeah. So it was one of those nasty love triangles. No. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. So the victim was in the pharmaceutical department, correct? He was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. Alchemist, I see. Gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, fascinating. Sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details? Timing. Absolutely certain that you met at 2:45. Yep, pretty sure. Okay, where did that go? There it is. I think. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmaceutical guys are always in the lab whipping something up. He's right about the time, okay. So, what was it that you were talking about? You know, maybe we should hang out again sometime. Yeah, that's not true. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why? Why did you go back there? Dude, Bear. How you been, sir? Good to see you again.
Just a second.
Hope everything's been awesome.
It's gonna be good.
Good to see you back. Happy Saturday. We're in the tutorial of the third game. I thought maybe we could make up. And I'm putting voices on hold for a second because I'm getting a tightness. All good? Cool. Good to hear. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. Been tired, and again, I'm just getting some random thing when I try and do voices. It's like I'm trying to tighten my lungs and make it do some fun stuff for voices, but this is being tight. I did just wake up, so maybe that's it. I just need to be awake more. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it? I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. Guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals. Pretty sure all my friends knew about it. You think it's allergies? Well, allergies have been killing you. Okay. Yeah, allergies are no fun. I never really suffered from them. I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I can't seem to find any contradictions. Oh, wait. I didn't press that last one. Dang it. Forgot to press it. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? Just answer the question, dude. Oh, you liked Aladdin, the new one? Cool. How did Abu and, like, Raja and the animals work? Can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Why'd you punch me in the jaw? Sorry, just felt like hurting something all of a sudden. Okay, so let's press the first one and do something that's not the time. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmaceutical department. Okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right. And they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables, like in the picture. They were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run around or the roof. I think we're getting somewhere. That's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. Not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Oh, is your name now Frank? Let me be Frank here. Okay. Testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? Well, you lied to the court. It was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor? Question mark? How the murder was carried out? How was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. How exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? It's in the picture. Maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. It's right there. Gigantic cable. It got snapped. Your Honor, I believe if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That'd be super impressive. Quite the brash statement from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I totally forgot about that. Dude, she has just 100% been raising Phoenix that way. It is this one, right? Yeah. I'd say this picture captures it well. What? There's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. That's because you're not looking. Further defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Where exactly... Beep, beep, beep. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmaceutical students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. Also, isn't when a human being gets volted, they, like, start melting? Melting! Something like that. It does sound plausible. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now. The victim's cause of death may indeed have been the high voltage cable. Hold on, how old is he? 49. Yeah, he's up there. However, I want to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. No, I think it was just an accident. That much is certainly true. You have proof? I want to see this proof. His fingerprints. On what? Fortnite bot, happy Saturday. You mean the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. Oh, great. Another case of fingerprints on a leather jacket. Palm print the defendant's very own hand. Nani? I think of one way Mr. Wright could have left that print like that, by pressing. Not that hard. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable? I think neither of them would have even stood near that stupid thing if it was active. I call BS. I can conclude there's no reason to continue... What? Stick a fork in us, we're done. No! No! Never give up. My hemorrhoids never lie? Why are you talking to me like that? I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. So wait, did the judge just get dumber? Because this is in the past. And we go forward. No, does that mean he's getting smarter? Or is he just always the same level of dumb? This time, I'm prepared to render a verdict. Do you have something further to add? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth, so help you. If you don't do something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You trust me. Serious face. I just imagine like this, a culmination of sneeze and snot that's like in there and now it is affixed to his chin. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the end. already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Cough, cough. Wait a minute! Mr. Wright? I'll tell you what really happened. I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further cough. I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. You're saying that girl, you shouldn't see her anymore.
None of your business, meh.
Telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. Like a bad time. Like San's bad time. There's something you need to know. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Why is he sweating? What you just said, is that the truth? Yeah, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. We thought you were the murderer for sure because you lied. All things currently stand, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear. Yeah, right. You'll be okay, right, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh. Thanks. You really did push the victim. Just quit talking about the hemorrhoids and have them dancing as the Harlem Shake. That's disgusting. Good lord. Guy, he was talking about Dolly. Bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried, so I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. The explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. Simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. I think they disproved that kind of idea. I think. When I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now. If your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I tend to deliver my verdict. Okay. If he's innocent, must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Racist! What did he do? He's racist! No, what did he say? He's racist! Calm down. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Ow! God. Oh, man. That was from laughing. After he said that, I just lost my temper and gave him a shove. Okay. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? He just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. Just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there were no severed cables anywhere to be seen? Right! There was nothing like that at all. Was it possible that you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. Don't let that guy steamroll over you like a cheap asphalt. What's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony. What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, I'm thinking about it, I wonder what it was. It was the sound of the victim being electric. You're not qualified to decide that. More details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been...
Go on.
When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Snap. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Rude to the dead much? I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Say? What do you think? Is there something important to the testimony just now? I mean, it snapped over there, not underneath him. Information we're waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered in the testimony. Perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. Objection. This dude's mean. He's being mean to me. Rude. Rude. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. You're certain of this? Yeah, I was right there. It was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. Yeah, right. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmaid's symbol of her love. My stomach is not to be used for your personal soccer ball. So she kicked him? Come on, continue with your testimony, okay? After you shot the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yeah, I did. I admit it. I was furious. Without even checking if Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Cough, cough. Ellipses. Cough, cough, cough. Nope. Nobody. Ellipses. Could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? I think it has to do with the umbrella. Yeah. I was like, oh gosh, does the sound keep going? Why didn't you justify the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. Nani? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. Bye-bye. No. We're gonna try voices again and see if it didn't get, loosened up of some kind. Where's the umbrella?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want to present it as evidence immediately.
found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind.
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have blown there by the wind.
Yeah.
Now, this matter of umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render a final judgment.
No! My hair!
I still find it hard to believe. A huge hole has been blown into the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Fell on top of the umbrella, there was a loud snap. A loud sound when it happened.
Well done, Mia.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
Don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess, you have another witness.
Exactly. This witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Is it the girlfriend? It's the girlfriend. What a jerk.
Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right, she was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Thanks, stay hydrated, bye. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. Yeah, you can't be serious.
What do you mean?
It's a good point for us to stop at. Court will enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, listen to the testimony. That's the first time we did a 20-minute. It's always been like 10, 5, or 15. Gosh, he was more lenient back then. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. I lied my butt off. At least you told us the truth in the end. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax? Hiding such important facts. That's why you tell your lawyer literally everything. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. I wonder if Phoenix passed on his excellent choice of women onto Larry. Nah, Larry is probably always like that. So maybe Larry was getting on Phoenix, and now Phoenix brushed it off, so good for him. Do you want me to tell me more about you and Miss Dahlia? Sure, no problem. We've held hands like once. We first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. Wait, first meeting and gives you something like that? She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. She gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. Certainly is a little bottle. Certainly is a little bottle, all right. Makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. Red flag. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been August 27th, would it? Hmm? Yeah, it was. How did you... This happened on August 27th right here in this courthouse. Newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, yeah. Nia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases. Is it going to actually show me the thing if I go to it? Yeah. Very little information is being discussed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident is in the district court.